And that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. This is Joe Mixon, fourth in the NFL in rushing last season. Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
I'll go special. I'll go special. Right. Right.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Jordan Evans. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, 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 hey. Ship.
Let's go.
Now Wilson going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Well, the Bengals and Seahawks meeting here in Week 1, and this is a combination that we haven't seen that often on the turf. If you look back to when the franchises began facing each other all the way back in 1977, but since then, just 20 meetings between the two teams, and the Bengals have won 11 of them, including the last meeting back in October of 2015. 3rd and long, it's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
What? We're waiting.
57. Let's go. Kill.
Check.
Kill.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. And he loses the football a second time. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Can we get some forensics done here? Because I need to figure out...
What, on that ball?
Yeah, on the ball, on the guys carrying the ball, what's going on? Back-to-back drives, back-to-back fumbles. That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you're coming out here to play in the NFL.
I don't think the coaching staff thinks it makes a whole lot of sense either.
No, maybe there'll be changes, but if nothing else, there will be a few stern talking tos, that's for sure. Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Slam, slam, slam. Kill.
Alert.
Last 57. Quit talking about it and bring it. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
Looking to throw on second down. Wilson. His throw caught right around the 6. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. DK Metcalf. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
He's got his man, Boyd. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a first down for them, too.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
There you go, 368.
Now Dalton. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. And he's going to go down again. Bobby Wagner, the former second-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
Now it's Lockett. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, an update from there. It's the Chargers out to an early lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Check three.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Unable to stop KJ right there as he slips by for the sack. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Tighten up.
Here you go, 368.
54.
Hey, watch your leg.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
General West.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Come on, come on. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike.
93, 52, 93, 44, 44. Here you go.
That's got to be a long...
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. It got his man complete. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down.
A gain of 29 yards. 1st down, Cincinnati.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
54 Mike.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Dalton. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 44-yard line.
1st down, Bengals.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 38, Dalton throwing the out route and complete. It's Green. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as a tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 25-yard line. Green last year had the lowest numbers of his career output-wise, 694 yards, 6 touchdowns. But, of course, there was a reason for that. He was battling a toe injury the second half of the season. And, boy, did the Bengals miss his presence. They limped to the finish line, losing 7 of their last 8. They are happy to have him back and healthy. 11 more on that one and another first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. To throw again, Dalton. And he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown.
Touchdown, Cincinnati.
Tyler Eifert there to make the grab as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and that'll make our score 14-7. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Say it. Shoot.
I'll go special.
Throwing is Wilson. Forced out to his left. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Wide. Get wide. Watch safety Green.
Hey, alert.
Check 50.
25. Hey, guys, listen. Check. Good.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. They set up the screen to Penny. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They'll run on first down. It's Carson, and they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
What you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some.
Tyler.
Check. Lucky. Watch out.
Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jordan Evans able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Wilson now throwing on 3rd and long. Well, he's going to go for it all. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Here's Dalton. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jadeveon Clowney picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. To try again after the sack. Dalton under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jadeveon Clowney getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And they will not get the snap off here. This is going to back him up halfway. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
You pump. Hey, check Mike 50. Mike is a 50. Check Mike 50. You don't want none.
3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? Going deep downfield for Ross. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
A 40-yard punt, no return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. A second quarter score from Carson. The Chargers have scored again, so they open up a 2-touchdown lead. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. To throw again. Flushed out right. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
1st and 10 at the 34.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the eye. Hey, 0, 0, 0. Watch the whip. One left. 57. 57. Touch. That's track. Shoot. Watch the
From the gun, Wilson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Big Ed.
Here's Wilson to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down.
Now 3rd down and long.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Check nickel. No pass.
Check 13.
Here's Wilson operating from the gun. Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Let's go.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Hey, 58's the mic. Well, 58's the mic. Man, I got you. 58's the mic. 58.
The final act of the first half, Dalton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So we're at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Wilson going to throw again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Operating from the gun, Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
It's caught. Lockett. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
It's 3rd down and 4.
380.
Alert,
alert, alert, alert.
Slam, slam, slam.
Cut.
57 to Mike.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
On 1st down, Carson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 18-yard line.
Right, 315.
Hey, let's get that ball again. Let's get that ball right here.
They run again with Carson. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. The extra point now coming from Myers. It's good, and it is now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Dalton on the draw to mix him. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Dalton. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Play action here with Dalton. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. They'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down.
Brings up 4th down.
Watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
54 is Mike. 54.
Hey, go 368.
54.
Here it comes.
Hands up.
A 4th down gamble with Dalton. He's got his man here. It's Green. A 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Kelvin Benjamin. 35 yards. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. So a one-handed grab in the end zone. Nothing much more rewarding than that for a guy catching it.
Not at all. And with what we just saw there, that type of a one-handed catch, what's next? Maybe they go up and almost Velcro with their jersey in the ball. That's about all that's left. That play, simply spectacular.
So a one-handed grab in the end zone, not much more impressive than that. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Look left, look left. Alert 3. Check 3, check 3, check 3. Showing that, showing that. Got.
Now it's Carson. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Jesse Bates, who led the Bengals in tackles as a rookie, there to make the stop.
Let's get it.
And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do?
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, an 80-yard touchdown, as his guys are back within a single score. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This game has really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim one-score lead.
And we've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here, otherwise they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine.
14. Friday.
Switch gears. Under.
Here's Wilson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And now a hook up downfield on 2nd down. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. John Ross, 72 yards, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
the amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Zebra.
Now it's Wilson. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Geno Atkins able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Got it.
Under 10. 10. Check.
Got it.
Check 50.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time, it yields a safety. Well, I don't know if careless is the right word there, but bottom line, here in the 4th quarter tie game, you can't do that.
You sure can, Brandon, and not only do you give up the lead, now you've got to turn around, punt it away from your own 20 as well. So it's really a double whammy with time starting to become a factor.
There we go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Once again, they run with Mixon. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
Right there.
Watch this.
You're not ready. Mike 5-4, Mike 5.
Hey, Delta.
Mike 5-4. Check that.
Despite only needing 1, Dalton to throw. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football, incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. Well, they don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Target. 52's the mic, boy. 52.
Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. They do tack on the extra point as well. And the lead is up to 5. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Move. Check right. Alpha.
He'll look to throw. And able to find Green. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Dalton to Green for a Cincinnati first. Back to throw. Flush to his right. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
93, 52, 93, 44, 44. There you go.
Check.
Dalton wants to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on 4th down. It's do or die for Dalton. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Tedrick Thompson picks it. So the victory here for Seattle. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Seahawks, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0.